This video demonstrates how to use the average function in Microsoft Excel and how to create a line chart using averaged data. The data were acquired from the experiment examining the infrared absorption rates and capacities of methane and ambient air. Download and open the Microsoft Excel file named Infrared Absorption Rates. Format columns E and I as numbers with only one decimal point. Accomplish this by first selecting column E, then holding down the Control key on your keyboard, and then selecting column I. Right-click on either column, select Format Cells, then the Number tab, and then the Number category. Change the decimal places to 1 and click the OK button. Click on cell E2. Notice the small green square in the cell's right corner. Click and drag this square to cell E14. Notice that this highlights all the cells. On Excel's Home tab, in the Editing section, select the down arrow next to the Auto Sum button. Select Average. Notice that Excel automatically populates the highlighted cells with the average values seen in columns B, C, and D. Click on cell I2. On Excel's Home tab, in the Editing section, select the down arrow next to the Auto Sum button. Select Average. Notice that Excel automatically populates the highlighted cells with the values seen in columns B2 through H2. This is not the average we want, so we'll need to modify this formula. Accomplish this by first clicking on cell F2, then holding down the Control key on your keyboard, and then clicking on cells G2 and H2. Notice that the cell names change in the formula as you click the three cells. Hit the Enter button on your keyboard when you are finished. Notice that Excel now calculates the average values of cells F2, G2, and H2. Click on cell I2. Notice the small green square in the cell's right corner. Click and drag this square to cell I14. Notice that Excel automatically populates the highlighted cells with the average values seen in columns F, G, and H. We now have the average temperature taken by all three thermometers during the methane and ambient air phases of the experiment. Now we'll construct a line chart that graphically displays this data. Accomplish this by clicking on cell A1 and dragging the mouse to cell A14. Notice that this highlights all the cells. Now, hold down the Control key on your keyboard, click and drag cells E1 through E14, and cells I1 through I14. Notice that this highlights all the data in the three columns. From Excel's Insert tab, select Recommended Charts. Select All Charts, and then the Line Chart Type. Click the OK button. On Excel's Chart Tools tab, select Format, and resize the chart to 5 by 8. Now we'll change the chart's style. Click in the chart's upper right corner so that icons appear on the chart's upper right side. Click the paintbrush symbol and select Style 2 from the provided list. Now we'll add some additional elements to the chart. Click in the chart's upper right corner so that icons appear on the chart's upper right side. click the plus symbol and place a check in the Axis Titles option. Rename the chart's title Infrared Absorption Rates and Capacities, Methane versus Air. Rename the y-axis Temperature in degrees Celsius. Rename the x-axis Time. Make the chart's title 18-point font. Make the axis labels 14-point font. Finally, make the x-axis values and the legend both 11-point font. Now we'll save the chart as a standalone graphic. Right-click the upper corner of your completed chart and select Copy. Paste your chart into a graphics program such as MS Paint or Photoshop, then save it as a JPEG or PNG file. You may also use a screen snipping program to select and save your chart.